This is Austin St. John, Jason, the original Red Ranger. You are watching the Morphin Network.
So Amy, how you doing?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Doing great, doing great. So we heard you're a March Madness fan. How's the Kentucky game?
Kentucky game was terrible. It's tragic today.
Mm.
And I'm still very sad about that. It's going to take me a while to recover. For
It's
real.
like
For real.
it's okay. I mean North Carolina's not there,
Correct.
so I'm as sad as you. I'm actually happy Duke lost. So
So am I. But just, it also makes me more sad because all the more chance that we could have won the whole thing.
I know. I mean the only consolation prize for Duke losing is I hope he comes to my NBA team.
Right. So you're like,
Hey guys, there's Morphin Network. Happy Sunday. Good afternoon or good evening in East
How's
Coast.
it going?
How's it going? We have a special guest. We have Amy Rolle or Amy Miller,
right.
who played Trakeena, the villainess from Power Rangers: Lost Galaxy. How you doing, Amy?
I'm doing good. Thank you. Yeah. Thanks for having me.
Thanks for
Awesome.
being here.
Yes.
Thank you.
Let's start the interview. So, Amy, can you tell us about yourself?
Well, I'm from Kentucky, which is one of the reasons I love the Kentucky Wildcats. I've been watching them my whole life. And I actually never thought about becoming an actress until I moved to LA in 1996 and started doing commercials. I had done modeling up until that point. And so then after I started doing commercials, then, I have an agent, and then you go out for one thing where they're looking for models or whatever. And then the next thing you know, I was auditioning for TV and film stuff. And that's how I ended up doing Power Rangers.
Awesome.
Nice.
Nice. I mean, that's really cool. Like, I mean, we could see you as a model, and like, you're still beautiful today. So,
Yeah.
How did you get started in acting? Like, what led you down that road?
Well, it was just my frustration with, I had moved to LA and I had been modeling for many years before that. So I was just going to do it in a different place, but I didn't make as much money out there. And I was talking to my friend who was also a model. But she really was a model, just trying to pay the bills as a model, and was really striving to become an actress. And so she said, honestly, it's not you, it's LA. You need to do what they want in LA, which is commercials, and you'll make more money. So that's the only reason I started doing commercials, was just to try something that I thought would be more lucrative and less I felt like I was working more and making less. And so then when I switched to commercials, it was more balanced. I felt like now I'm making more money and working less. So I liked it that way. And then, yeah, that was really what led me, that agent, you know what I mean? That agent to the next agent. And then I started auditioning for TV and film stuff. So
awesome.
Fascinating.
It's really fascinating. I mean, I didn't really know back then that you only want commercials.
Yeah, I did. That's how I made a living for many years in LA, and it's actually really fun. It's probably one of my favorite things to do because I do love that I worked on Power Rangers and the other shows that I worked on. But commercials are fun because you just work maybe a few days and then you're on to the next thing. So I kind of like the really fast format. And they're always really funny, and usually, so they're fun.
Fascinating.
So Amy, you're in Power Rangers, Lost Galaxy. Can you tell us what the audition process was like?
Okay, I don't know if you guys know that. You probably know since you're Power Rangers fans. The show at that time was shot up in the sound stages were in Valencia, which is kind of far from LA. It's like an hour drive. And I was doing a lot of auditioning at that time. So I had about 5 or 6 auditions that day. And it was the last one at the end of the day. And it's like way out in Valencia. So I was like, you know what? I don't even think I'm going to go to this thing. And I almost skipped the whole thing. But at the very last minute, I decided to go. And I did the audition. And I was just like, wow, what a waste of gas and time. This was like, I just totally sucked. I blew it. And I was just mad at myself for even wasting like 2 hours of my life. And then they called me back and I was like, what? So yeah, so I went back again. And I think I had like 2 auditions after that. And I know a lot of the other Rangers and stuff have had, extensive casting for their parts or whatever, but I only had a couple of auditions, but yeah, it was, I don't want to say easy, but it surprised me that they actually wanted me.
One of our previous actresses, she said a similar thing. So
Oh, really? Yeah. I don't know. I guess I just didn't kind of get it. And yeah, I don't know. It's hard. The auditioning part is really the hardest thing because you are, in a room with the casting director and sometimes someone who's reading, and I didn't have any other actors in the room when I went. So it's the most, you're not on set. You're just like fold out chairs. Wait, the world is ending at my house. Hang on a quick second. Sorry,
All right.
guys.
All right.
So anyways, yeah, it's just different than I thought it would be. And I don't know. I'm glad. I'm glad I went ultimately.
yes. Anyway, what was
Sorry.
what was the experience like filming Power Rangers?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay, so the filming, honestly, like I love talking about it and looking back now, but when it was happening, it's like being in the Army or something. It was really hard. It was, and for me, I think I had it harder than the Rangers even. So I had a call time usually like 3:30 or 2:30 in the morning, 5 days a week.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah. I'm telling you, it was like being in the Army. It was really brutal. I used to say, I'm like Katie Couric, but without the paycheck. Because you know how the weather people wake up super early and then like their day is finished at like 1 o'clock, except I had to work till 6.
Wow.
Because it actually didn't start. That was to get there because it's far away. And then the sound stage is an hour away, but sometimes our location, like Onyx or other, locations were far away and they're out in the desert. And the western town where I had the fight with the guys in the bar. It's kind of that was like 2 hours away from LA. So to get out there and do your hair and makeup 2 hours away, you literally have to. You're like, okay, it's 1 o'clock. I'm just gonna go to work. So 1 o'clock in the morning, and then we would start shooting about 7 or 6:30 or something like that, and then shoot a 12-hour day. So it was brutal. It was really hard, but I think it was worth it in the end, and I survived and have great memories and stuff now. So
it was definitely
worth it.
Yeah, and also it helps you just to understand like every show is really different how they shoot, and I think after you collect some experience, doing different things, then I don't know, it's just kind of like okay, so that one, and also it was only like I don't know, a year and a half or whatever it was. Of time, you know what I mean? It's like it has a beginning and an end, and it's not like you're doing this forever. So it was cool, and now it's really nice to look back on and say, yeah, I did that.
Yes, I mean your season was really good, especially with like post Zordon era, the post like first era of Power Rangers. You guys had a great start, and you're a great villain too. A really great villain.
Thank you.
I've heard some say Lost Galaxy is just as much the Rangers' story as it was yours. Or the show was just as much your story as it is
Well,
theirs.
that was kind of an accident. You know that, right? Like a lot of things, like you can have the best laid plans, but originally, Scorpius was supposed to be the main.
Yes.
And because he was too bulky and cumbersome to move around, that's why they decided after the season had started, and they had to move him a couple times to locations, that it was time to kill him. And kind of rewrite Trakeena's story and give me a little bit more, because originally I was just a recurring character, so they weren't really promising me a certain amount of days to shoot or anything like that. They were just sort of like, you're going to be here and there on the show, whatever. But then so I think it was really cool how it turned out for my character. And yeah, I do hear that a lot, like, oh, you're the best, you have the best villain story arc of all the Power Ranger villains. And honestly, I don't watch the other seasons, so I don't have another thing to compare it to, but I think that's really cool.
Yes.
That my character did get to have a different story than what they originally planned.
Do you have any behind-the-scenes moments while filming Power Rangers? Any fun stories or stuff you can tell about?
Oh, yeah, there's always fun behind the scenes. But, yeah, I don't know. Like, I mean, the cast and crew on Power Rangers was great. They really were. And, we're still in touch, some of us nowadays. And we see each other at conventions occasionally. And then sometimes we're friends on Facebook. And there might be even some of them watching right now. I don't know. But there was always kind of fun stuff happening that when you weren't the one that was out there filming. Because there was a lot of downtime. even after you get all made up and stuff. But yeah, I love my makeup artist, and I loved our wardrobe people. And a funny thing, I'll tell you, this has happened way, way after, but after Power Rangers was over and we already moved away from LA, we were on a plane in Dallas going back to LA for, I don't know, I think just for fun. And I mean, literally, we were kind of in the back of the plane, like row 25 or something like that. And sitting directly across from us in the aisle was Andrea. She was one of our stylists on the show. And she's like, oh my God, Amy and Reggie, what are you guys doing? We're like, what are you doing here in Dallas? You know, and she's originally from Dallas, and her grandmother had passed away. So she was here doing some family things. But just crazy that we ran into her on that plane that day on the same row as us. She was across the aisle, but still, yeah. So we still keep in touch.
That's amazing.
It's amazing. At least you still have in touch with your actors and in one that's always living with you. So
yeah, absolutely.
Can you tell us what your thoughts are on the Power Ranger fandom as a whole? Like, what do you think of the Power Ranger fan community?
It's really cool. Like, honestly, I didn't even know that. I didn't know that much about it. When we were shooting the show, I didn't know that much about it because our sound guy, Scott Pagester, he used to, at that time, so we're talking 20 years ago, he would do chat rooms with fans up in his office. And so when we were at the sound stages, he would say, hey, come up here, you know, and I can say, hey, Trakeena's up here right now. If you guys, it's kind of like he was giving them a little bit of this before this was a thing. You know what I mean? Like a chance to interact directly with us.
Right.
And he did it for me, so I know he did it for other people on the show too. And he was already engaging with the fandom. You know what I mean? So it was kind of cool, but I really didn't think about engaging myself aside from that. You know, like the internet was new. We just got on a computer. Like it just wasn't, I don't know. The socialness was totally different back then. I mean, you had to really know and I didn't even, you know what I mean? I barely had an email address or whatever back then. So I didn't know about chatting and I didn't do it. So then the show's over, fast forward like 10 years. And one time Serena told Reggie and I about conventions. And we were like, what do you mean? Like, you mean like Star Trek conventions? And she's like, yeah, but not Star Trek, like Power Rangers. And we were like, what? People still watch the show? And she's like, yeah, they watch it and they love it. And they're way into every bit of it, you know, just like if it were still going on. We were like, she's like, and they come out by the thousands to the shows, and you should do the next one that I'm going to do. It was AnimeCon, and it's at the convention center in LA. You should do it. And we're like, okay. So we just showed up. That was about 10 years ago. And we had no idea that whole world was even out there of people that were still watching the show and still into it. And it was a surprise, honestly, to find out. So since then until now, it's been really cool kind of diving into that and getting to know some of you. I mean, Kent, how many years ago was it when I met you first? Was it the first Morphicon?
I met you at the 2012 Morphicon.
Okay, so the first one was probably 2008, right?
I think,
or 2010.
2007.
2007.
Okay, so there you go. But I mean, that's 7 years ago that I met you. You know what I mean? So it's kind of cool.
Yeah,
like, you were kind of still a little kid.
Yeah. When I first met you, I was just kind of like, hi,
yeah,
so nice to meet you.
So
but
how cool is it that this many years later we're in contact? And I have a few fans like that I've become friends with and gotten to know over the years, and kind of watched you guys grow up and gotten to know about you and stuff like that, and met tons of others too. So it's really cool.
It's amazing, yeah. So anyway,
Amy, we know that I saw on your Instagram and some of your Facebook fan page that you're a makeup designer.
Yes, I work for Tom Ford, and that's why I was a little bit late coming to the broadcast today, because I had a late customer at my store. But I do that. I do that a lot. I'm in the store 5 days a week, and then I do it on the side. I have my own little business here at the house. I'm in my makeup room right now.
Oh,
so,
nice.
Yeah, turn the dining room into a makeup room, and then I have clients come to the house, and they need makeup for, I don't know, homecoming, prom, wedding, photos, whatever, and I do the makeup. So
awesome. Yeah.
So
my question related to that is, how did you get into makeup artist industry?
Okay, well, like I mentioned, I'm from Kentucky, so I had an unfair advantage from the very beginning, because we like makeup in Kentucky. So, and then I don't know. I've always kind of been a little bit artistic. So I don't know. I just kind of learned, and in my line of work, I feel like I had a little bird's eye. Like I was a spider on the wall or fly on the wall watching the makeup artists that I got to work with, and oh, well, that was before YouTube videos and all that kind of stuff. So I would say, well, what's this, and where do you get that, and can you show me, or can you get me one next time you go? And, that kind of thing. So I always was I felt like I always had like the insiders, I had an inside track on the latest and greatest in makeup, just being in like the industry of like modeling and then TV and film. And I would always watch, someone else is in hair and makeup, but I would go watch them do, not just mine, the other person's too, because it interested me. So I don't know, it's just kind of a natural evolution for me because it's stuff I like.
Got your attention.
Any advice for any actresses or actors going into acting?
Well, okay, so one thing is for sure, from my own experience, if you would have asked me before Power Rangers, like I told you, I almost didn't even go on the audition. If you would have asked, said like, oh, do you see yourself being an actress on Power Rangers? My answer would have been no. So I would say don't count things out before you try. Definitely try things that maybe you don't see yourself, stretch yourself. Because even if you would have asked me before I went to LA, like, do you see yourself being like an actress? I would have said no. No. And even when I first met my friend, the one I told you that told me, oh, you should go into commercials. When I met her, she was a model. She was modeling at the same time as I was, and we lived in the same city. But she told me right from the very beginning, well, I'm trying to become an actress. And I was like, really? And she's like, yeah, and if this doesn't work out, we shot a pilot together. She's like, but I'm going to LA because that's where you need to go if you want to become an actress. So one of the things I would say is go to LA because that's true. She had done her research, and that's true. You can do a lot of kind of work leading up to becoming an actress or an actor in other cities. But if you want to be on TV and film, like that's the Mecca. So LA is definitely necessary, and you got to be there. And the other thing, I was, even after we did a TV show together, we did a pilot for a TV show together in probably like 1993. And I was just like, I'm just here for the paycheck. Like, I don't even consider myself an actress, even though I had done this pilot. I was like, because they cast models. You know what I mean? They cast us as models for people that they wanted on the show. And I knew a casting director from doing, I used to do a lot of like non-union Latino commercials when I lived in Miami and so for South America. And he just asked me, do you want to do this pilot or whatever, if you're going to be around these dates? And I was like, yeah, I'll be around. So I did it. And even during that time, I kept thinking like, this is so weird because I'm not even an actress. Why am I here? How did I end up in this chair? You know what I mean? Like right now. So I guess just don't pigeonhole yourself based on what you know what I mean? Like if you're going to do it, go all in and just see what comes your way and really try and to stretch yourself and go for things that you never saw yourself doing.
Right on. What do you think your father Scorpius would think when if he found out you married a ranger?
I'm sure he'd be extremely disappointed, and I might be written out of the will. But he also knows I'm a rebel, so whatever. Yeah.
Anyway.
How is Reggie, by the way?
He's good.
Remember, I think I told you once, it's funny that you ended up marrying the Green Ranger from your season, and your Japanese counterpart was actually a rival to the Green Ranger in that series.
Oh my God.
I do remember you telling me that, but I don't know. I've never seen the other version. What is it called? Yeah, I've never seen that. I need to. Is it ongoing? Like it's something or there's one that matches every season? Is that how?
Yeah, that's one that matches each season. They adapt.
So there's one that I know we shared footage with them, and you can always tell what the footage is.
Yeah.
When I cut to the shared footage, but so that show that they're cutting in, that's the show you're talking about.
Right.
Okay. I've never seen it in its entirety. How do you guys even find that?
Shout Factory now. They have the DVDs.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, I worked with those guys on our little when they did the condensed everything into the DVDs.
Oh yeah, I saw that. Like, you were at that for the 20th anniversary.
Yes.
You and Reggie were like interview. Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, that was cool.
And they came out to the house and did an interview with me there was like a little special, I don't know if it's a whole DVD or what disc, but it's like a special villains section that they did that's in those, like if you get, I don't know, whichever one Lost Galaxy's in, like say 5 through 10 or whatever, or 5 through 8. If you get that specific one, then the villain,
you can see it.
The villain excerpts are in there, yeah. A little bit of extra.
So, fascinating. Final question.
Sure.
Do you have any upcoming projects or anything you'd like to share with your fans?
I don't have any upcoming projects because I'm not in LA anymore. So I haven't done anything to do with TV or film in a long time. And yeah, I just, I'm a viewer now. So, no, it's kind of cool, like to hear about people that are doing different things. And maybe if I were still in LA, I would still audition for things. But there's a little bit of that goes on here, but I've never been involved in it in Dallas. So, sorry. Not just a regular mom now.
It's understandable.
So Amy, we heard that you're willing to give a giveaway for fans?
Yes, if you guys can think of some kind of a fun way to do it or whatever, just, I don't know, pick a name, any name, and let me know the information, and they just need to pick a color for the shirt because we have green, purple, and black.
Actually, we have some comments from fans that actually want to say hi to you. If you mind.
I can't see, like, I've only done one on Instagram before, so I can see the people that join. I don't have any idea who's watching right now.
you actually have like a... Yeah, so Lazarus, I can't say your name. I'm sorry, man. Karitopoulos. Hi, everyone. Hello, Amy. Greetings from Greece. So that's Lazarus.
Okay. Hi, Lazarus.
And then Terrell Diggs says hello.
Hi, Terrell. Hey.
And then Daniel Romero says hi, Amy.
Hi, Daniel. How are you?
And then Power
I've choked him before, just for the record. Yeah, and it's a photo to prove it.
And Power Rangers Lost Galaxy fans, what's up, Amy?
Hey, what's up?
Deshaun Marco Hall says, hey.
Hey.
Daniel again says, beautiful house you have there. What's your favorite Power Rangers Lost Galaxy episode?
My favorite episode of Lost Galaxy, okay, so I have two. So Green Courage is the runner-up, but my absolute favorite was the hardest one to film, and it was the one, Heir to the Throne, where my transformation starts, and I get trained into a warrior.
Warrior princess, yeah.
Yes, where that's the beginning of everything for my character, and it was really hard to film, but I think it came out really good, and I really like that. So when people now that I meet are like it happened to my job the other day. There's this guy, he works at Neiman Marcus, and he goes, wait, and he's much younger than me. He's like 22 years old. He's like, wait, so he said something about, I can't remember. And then the girl in shoes goes, are you kidding? She's like, she's on Power Rangers. You didn't know about that? And he's like, what? Power Rangers, a TV show? Are you kidding me? And he's like, oh my gosh, I watch it all the time. I didn't know which series. And I told him, and he was like, oh, which one should I watch to see you? And I was like, well, watch Heir to the Throne. But then he told me later, he's a fan. So he already was a fan of Power Rangers. He started in the beginning because he wants to watch the whole series. So I always tell them Green Courage and Heir to the Throne.
Awesome.
Nice.
So Jag Bobman says, go Galactic.
Hey.
Tam Pyre says, hi, Amy.
Hi, Tam. He's another one of my fans that I feel like I've gotten to know over the years. Still waiting to meet him in person, though. So hopefully one day. But this is pretty close.
Anthony Mark says, hi, Amy. Junior.
Hi, Anthony. Another one I see all the time on my...
Oh, Derek Smith. Oh, you're new. Been watching Power Rangers since 1993 and still watch it today. Aw.
Wow. Thanks for watching. Seriously.
Who was the biggest prankster on set?
Biggest prankster. I don't know. Probably one of either Banner, who was our props guy, or I don't know. See, that's the other thing. I don't know if you guys know this because I'm not sure how every series worked, but on ours, I didn't work with the Rangers that much, so I wasn't hanging out with Reggie and Melody and Archie unless I had a specific episode like Green Courage. I worked with him a lot. Or there's one called. There's one where I'm with Danny quite a bit. Remember, where there's another where he's, I kind of have him captured or whatever. And there's another one where I try to steal the beauty from the girls, from
yeah,
right, and from Valerie and Serena. But then so I got to work with them on those episodes, but most of the time I was with the Japanese stunt guys. So they were not saying that anything bad about them, but they mostly just stuck together and spoke Japanese and were on their own. So I was very like by myself a lot, unless I was working with one of our rangers or whatever. Or with our crew people. So I was with the crew, with the grips, with the lighting guys and all that, more than the rangers. So it was a little different for me and my makeup people, like I said. So yeah, right. So they were a little different because they had more of like a little brotherhood with each other. But I didn't really have that with mine, so it's a little different.
Hey, but on the bright side, you have supporters, so yeah,
and that's another thing. I had no idea until I did the show that there was like this whole group of fans out there that they like all the bad guys. Like they're for, and you know what? I think I'm actually one of those people. You know, I'm the person who loved Darth Vader. I'm the person who likes Tony Soprano. I'm the person who likes the bad guys. You know, so I don't know. I never put two and two together until I started to realize, like, wow, there's a whole bunch of people that are lining up at my booth and there's Pink Rangers over there, like, you know what I mean, that they could be going to, but they're into the bad guys. So
a hero is a hero, but everyone loves a good villain.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, and honestly, everything's boring unless there's a villain. Let's get real. So unless there's a villain on there to kind of stir it up or whatever, that's why, yeah. I think even if you don't love them, the show would be boring without them.
Right.
All right.
Anyway.
Okay, so continue. John Swinford, Trakeena was definitely my favorite. Aw.
Because there's been some great villains, even though I don't really know, I haven't watched the whole series. Like, I definitely know, you know, about Divatox, and I know about Astronema, and I know about the other legendary, you know, Power Rangers villains and stuff. So that's really a huge compliment. Thank you.
Joshua York, you're new. Hey, Amy, you may remember me from Instagram Beyond the Grid. Thank you again for the gifts. So glad to have a chance to have talks with you. You're awesome. Joshua York.
Yes, I do remember you. See, that's the thing. Like, I sent him some stuff. He was the winner of the contest that I did with Ian on Instagram.
How's it like working with Melody Perkins?
I love working with Melody. She was Corone when I worked with her. She's not Astronema. So I got to see the sweet good side, which I think is probably more like the real Melody, because she's just, and I love her as the real person, you know, as the person that she is, not as Melody and not as Corone or as Astronema, but I know she has a huge following as Astronema too. So I don't know. It's really cool to kind of be in the little villain fraternity that I'm in with her and Hillary and the different ones that I'm, you know, in even a smaller group with those bad guys. But I did love working with Melody.
Maita, hey. Hi, Amy. How are you? Hope you see you at Ranger Stop.
I've never been to Ranger Stop. I think I'm the only person that's never been. I think they only, like, all the fans, all the actors, everybody's been except me. But maybe one day.
Well, Mayte, tell Michael that Amy's interested. Without random names, I have Amy, you do remember the names I asked, right?
The names that you called out?
Yes.
No. Right now? No.
Well, like looking
You're
at
gonna
this.
have to send it to me like in a instant message or something. Otherwise, like on Messenger, I won't remember.
Okay.
So I can make sure I get to the right person. And plus, you got to get their or they can just give me their information.
Well, I have chosen somebody because this somebody has commented a lot. And
okay, so they're really participating and in the show. Okay, drive it. I love it.
So I know I have a winner now because you guys have been commenting a lot. The winner is Daniel Romano. So Daniel, congratulations, you won.
Congrats, Daniel.
So Daniel, Amy, can you explain to Daniel how he can email or contact you for the?
Yes, just contact me either on Messenger or DM me on Instagram your address where you want your shirt sent, and let me know what size and what color you want on your shirt. And we have to do you know how people do those now and then pictures, like you recreate a picture from a long time ago?
Right.
Daniel and I are going to have to recreate the choking picture one day. I met him at my first convention. He was like, we just took a regular picture, and then he goes, hey, would you mind doing another one? I was like, sure, okay. Like maybe it didn't come out. And he's like, and this one, will you choke me? And I was like, okay. And still to this day, he's the only one, but that was so memorable for me. So yeah, it's really fun. We have to recreate that, and then we can do a side by side.
Daniel, congratulations,
Yeah,
Daniel.
congratulations, Daniel.
Congrats.
Also, Daniel, email us your email just in case, if I'll send it to Amy in case she doesn't get it. Or yeah.
Backup.
Just for backup, Daniel. Don't worry. Okay, guys. So, Amy, thank you so much for being our guest.
Yes,
guys,
you were amazing.
Thank you for having me. Really, I love it, and I'm like I said, I'm so happy to learn about your podcast and to be involved in it and find out about all the the people that are still really into the show and into the character and all that stuff. It means a lot to me. So thank you for including me.
This was our pleasure. Okay, so before we go,
sure.
We often wave goodbye, but I was thinking, could you do your evil laugh while we're signing out?
Evil laugh? I don't know. How was that? That was my normal laugh.
Okay.
No, I'm just kidding.
So.
Before that, Daniel's asking, will we see you and Reggie for PMC 2020?
I don't know. It's only 2019, so I don't know. Sometimes there's some conflicts with kid stuff. We've had college drop-off conflicts. We've had, volleyball conflicts a couple times. There's been different things, so can't answer that yet. Stay tuned. I don't know. But I'll announce it. I'll announce it if that decision gets made. I'm gonna go. I'll let you know.
Awesome. Before we leave, can you explain to your fans where can they find you on social media?
I'm at Trakeena PRLG because at Trakeena was taken at the time. I mean, really? So when I signed up for Instagram, I had to be at Trakeena PRLG, and that's really the only thing I do. I mean, I'm on Facebook, but I'm not as active on Facebook, and it's mostly my friends and family in Kentucky. So Instagram's the best place for me, and that's the only one I do. I don't do Twitter or anything like that. So
got it.
Awesome.
You guys go on my Instagram, and then I can be in touch with you there.
Awesome. So again, Daniel, congratulations. Send an email to Amy for instructions, and also you can email it to us too, just in case. All right, guys. Kent, where can I find you in social media?
You can find me on my regular Facebook page, Kent Brown, as well as my Instagram account, Brown_K30. And Ryan, where can they find you?
You can find me at DancerBoy247 in Instagram. And you can follow us at Morphin Network and Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram. And we also have a Twitter account. So,
I'm going to add you guys. All right. Thanks a lot. Thanks for having me.
All right, guys.
Thanks for tuning in, everybody.
All right, guys. So we're going to do goodbye wave. Thank you, guys, and we'll see you soon. All right. Thank you, Amy. Bye, guys.
Bye.
See ya.
Bye, guys.
All right, guys.